Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Elder Scrolls Oblivion with only restoration magic was a real fun run. Let's follow that up with a classic Pokemon solo challenge. Today's the day that we figure out, would I be able to beat Pokemon Gold with a team of only one Corsola? I'm pretty pumped to use this one since you guys have been suggesting it forever. So Corsola? I'm actually not sure, is a water and rock type Pokemon with pretty average overall stats and really low speed. You might remember it from the Ruby with only in-game trades Pokemon run that I've done. It looks like our defense is a bit better than our attack, with special attack being higher than regular attack. By level up, we learn a few cool moves like Recover and Ancient Power, although nothing that hits super hard. It's looking like Surf is going to be our best water move. By TM, there's quite a bit of choice, including some cool stuff like Earthquake. What really surprised me is that we can't learn any ice moves. Looks like Corsola can't learn any until Generation 3, so we'll just have to make do with stuff like Earthquake and Surf instead. Like always, I'm writing this script as I go through the challenge, so all of this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I figure I can win, but I could see Lance being a problem. Also, Red's Venusaur is probably going to be a brick wall for at least a little while. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use Corsola. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. So, right off the bat, I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Totodile with Corsola so that we can do the whole run with it. I picked to replace Totodile so that our rival would have Meganium, probably the hardest for us to fight. I named him Geodude, because that's hilarious. Oh, and I made sure to get a male Pokemon this time. I always forget, but male Pokemon have better stats in Gen 2. No, I'm not joking, it's really weird. I think it's an IV thing, but IVs are still something that I'm not very great at. So, early game travel. Now, most of this is pretty easy since we're part rock type, and a lot of enemies here have stuff like Tackle and Scratch. We don't actually gain any water moves till Bubble at level 13, but that's a really weak move, and Tackle is still probably going to do more damage. At level 19 we get Recover, and then all the way at level 25 we get Bubble Beam, our strongest move by level up. I don't really see us doing much damage until we can beat the normal gym and get the Surf HM, but at the same time, I'm not really too worried about the trainers between here and there. I mean, other than our rival. The rival fight outside the bug gym could be a serious issue since we're quad weak to grass. Speaking of quad weak to grass, I didn't do the Bellsprout Tower for once. Instead, I just went straight to the flying gym. I'm not convinced it's gonna be easy, though. They've got Mud Slap, and it's super effective against us. Even if it doesn't end up hurting us very much, and it probably won't, having our accuracy lowered is a great way to lose an otherwise easy fight. Wish me luck! So the first try actually goes pretty bad. We don't take much damage, but they obviously ruin our accuracy quite quickly. We got pretty lucky with hitting more than I expected, but it still didn't get us the win. That's alright. I think that if I come back just a few levels higher, then we'll be fine. Level ups mean a lot in early game. Next try was crazy. This time we could two-shot Pidgey, and we were getting super lucky with tons of hits in a row on Pidgeotto. But as soon as we were one hit away from winning, we just kept missing over and over. In the end, we dropped to only 1 health when we finally hit the finishing blow. I can't believe how close that was. Alright, so now we have to head south. I'm pretty worried about what's coming up. No, not Pokemon Champion Russell, we have water moves, so he should be easy. I'm not even that worried about Bugsy, to be honest. It's our rival that I think is going to be an issue. He should have an evolved Chikorita by now, so Bayleaf, and if I remember right, he has Razor Leaf. So it's quad effective against us, and we have no moves that are super effective against him, and Razor Leaf crits a lot. I could see us getting stuck there for a while, so I make sure to fight lots of trainers on my way for the experience. By the time we finished up Slowpoke well, we were at level 19, so we have Recover but not Bubble Beam. Well, there's only like 4 or 5 trainers in the bug gym, so I don't see us getting Bubble Beam before the upcoming boss fight. I'm gonna have to grind for our rival, aren't I? Let's go do the bug gym first. Oh man. Well, the only real threat in the bug gym was Scyther like usual, but Fairy Cutter ended up building power so fast that even with Recover to help us, we ended up getting totally overpowered and taken down. We really need a stronger move than Bubble. We get Bubble Beam in just a few levels, let's come back with that. Okay, first try at the bug gym with Bubble Beam went way easier. Bubble Beam is slightly more than 3 times stronger than Bubble, so this is a pretty massive upgrade. Will it be enough to take down our rival, though? So this is what I was worried would happen. Ghastly is easy, but Bayleaf isn't. Our Bubble Beams do about a quarter of their health and damage, but their Razor Leaves take out almost half of ours. 2 hits took us down to only 1 health, and we're faster, so we were able to get him down to red health, but we still get taken out on the follow-up. If we took less damage, then Recover could maybe save us, but not if he deals that much damage. I just have to level up a bit more to stand a chance. Now our next try, just 2 levels higher, went much different, and it was due to his weird move choice. He used weird moves like Growl and Reflect when that doesn't affect our Bubble Beam at all, letting us have a much easier time taking him down. Maybe he thought we weren't in the same damage range or something? I'm not really sure, that was a weird one. Alright, time for more trainers. There are tons in this area, so it's a great place to get a bit stronger. I made sure to pick up the TM for return while I was in Goldenrod, although I don't know if I'll need it quite yet. It could be slightly stronger than Bubble Beam, but we'll get returns soon, and with the same type attack bonus and our special attack higher, Surf will do more damage than a return. We can't get Surf until the normal gym is done and over with though, so let's go give that a try first. Wow, the normal gym actually went really well. Clefairy used Metronome to hit us with Hyper Beam, but it hardly did anything thanks to us being part Rock type, and we did tons of damage to Miltank, so it never stood a chance. Maybe we're in for a fast middle chunk of the run. We've got a new move on the horizon, let's keep moving. The moment we finish the normal gym, I rush straight for the dance hall. Beating this place will get us the HM for Surf. The best water move we'll be able to get our hands on. While we're here though, this is a great time for the Surfshark ad. Surfshark has been a part of my daily routine for a few years now, so it's always awesome to work with them again. Surfshark is a VPN, a virtual private network. It lets you access any country's version of any website with ease from your phone, computer, Chromecast, and just about anything else you can think of. It's great for accessing other countries' catalogs of shows on sites like Netflix and Crunchyroll. Personally, I use it for Fight TV all the time so that I can watch All Elite Wrestling in Canada without needing a TV subscription. It's easy as can be. You just pop open the app, pick the country you want, give it a few seconds to connect, then refresh whatever page you're on, and it thinks you're in that new country. Cool, right? It's also real good for if you want to hide what you're searching from your internet service provider. I'm looking at you, China. You know what you did. If you want to sign up, then there's a pretty massive discount you can grab. You can enter the promo code MDB for 83% off and 3 months free. Yeah, you're only paying 17%. It's pretty wild. Check out the link at the top of the description if you want to sign up and give it a try today. I highly recommend it. Now that we have Surf, we went straight for the Ghost Gym. It went weird with us one-shotting everyone but Gengar, but he put us to sleep and ate our dreams for ages. I thought we'd lose when we woke up, crit him to one-shot him, then easily took down the Haunter right after. Well, that was a bit lucky, but considering all we needed was a miss from Hypnosis, I'm sure we'd win this more often than we'd lose it. Alright, time for some travel. We're at a part of the run where things really open up. So we can do the Fighting Gym, Steel Gym, and Ice Gym next, and we can do them in any order we want. I figure the Steel Gym should be easy, but only after we're strong enough to one-shot the Magnemites, since we're weak to electricity. The Fighting Gym could be a problem due to us being weak to fighting moves and Polywrath resisting Surf, but it's typically not that hard to fight, so I'm sure we could win within a few tries at least. Last is the Ice Gym, and I think that's actually going to be the easiest, partly because his team isn't that good, and partly because we aren't weak to ice. Hey, that might mean that it's a light work day for me today, and I could use one. I've got a story about that, actually. I'll save it for the outro of the video, though. Only cool people who wait till the end to get to hear the story. First, though, Fighting Gym. Primeape managed to hang on from Surf to hit Karate Chop, and it did decent damage, but no crit, so we were able to knock him out before he could hurt us too badly. For Poliwrath, we lucked out by hitting a crit with a return right away just as he used Mind Reader, so our follow-up finished him off before he could land that Dynamic Punch. That went perfectly. Now the Steel Gym right after is what really surprised me. I thought the Magnemites would be an issue, but we one-shot them already, plus the Steelix was a one-shot as well. That literally went perfectly. Okay, so last before the Ice Gym is the Rocket Hideout, and this is perfect, because it gives us the experience we need to finally learn Ancient Power. It's not really that awesome of a move since it only has a 1 in 10 chance of boosting our stats, but it's a rock move right before the ice gym, so it might make that fight a lot better. The hideout itself was super easy since everything is a pretty low level, so let's get to that ice gym. Steel was first, but 1 return did the job. I doubt we needed that crit though. Piloswine was next, and I used Ancient Power, but then I remembered Ground resists it, so it was only neutral. That's fine, he wasted his time with Mist, so we took him down. Last was Dugong, who is weak to rock, so we just landed a one-shot. The ice gym is always easy. Time for the radio tower. Like usual, I'm not really in danger here, nothing can stand up to our surfs. Although, I do get poisoned quite a few times. We have Recover, so it never made us faint, but I did have to leave to get more supplies at some point. Let's go deal with the rival fight in here. Golbat was first, so we just one-shot him with our rock-type Ancient Power, and second was Magnemite. Well, it's a lower level than the ones in the Steel Gym, so of course we just get a one-shot. Meganium was next, and I was naturally pretty worried, but for some reason, he just used Poison Powder instead of, like, a grass move. Haunter was a one-shot with Surf, and Sneasel didn't do any better. Seriously, what was he thinking with Poison Powder? Meganium was his only chance to beat us. So, all that's left before the Elite Four is the Rival and the Dragon Gym. But I gotta say, I'm not really feeling too confident about the Dragon Gym. We can't learn any ice moves for it, and all of her Pokemon resist water, so Surf isn't gonna cut it. Return is our next best move, but we have both lower attack than special attack, and it doesn't get the same type attack bonus. I'm pretty sure I won't be able to one-shot the Dragonairs, and that would mean that we're almost for sure getting paralyzed before we get to Kingdra. I have a feeling we might have to grind, but let's give it a try first and just see what happens. Okay, so this was a weird one. The first 2 Dragonairs were one-shots, but the third one hung on and paralyzed us before we could take it down. Because of that, the Kingdra got to hit us first, and we were taking decent damage, but we lucked out and never got fully paralyzed, so we still ended up getting the win. Oh, that's one crisis averted. Okay, all that's left before the Elite Four is our rival. I really don't think it'll be an issue unless they can hit us with a powerful grass move. I don't really remember what moves Meganium will have by this point in the run, but I'm hoping it's Solar Beam since I bet I could knock it out before it would actually hit us. Razor Leaf could be an issue though. Even if the fight is easy, I don't think that we'll be able to beat the Elite Four quite yet. I think our level's about on par with Lance's lower level Pokemon, and Surf isn't going to cut it against 4 of his 6, so some levels might be required. First though, the rival. Yeah, he was a total one-shot sweep other than Meganium, who decided it would be really cool to use Poison Powder again instead of a grass move. I have no idea what he was thinking, but I guess I shouldn't complain about the easy win. Now that we're at the Elite Four, let's take a look at our stats. So, they're not really that bad for a level 60, but not great. We've for sure used worse, and we aren't super frail, but what surprises me was our 111 attack and special attack. This was before effort values, so I think we might have a little bit of an imbalance in our stat experience. That's fine though, I think we could probably make it at least part way through the Elite Four. I doubt we can beat Lance yet, but maybe we'll be strong enough by the time we get in there. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. First is Psychic Trainer Will. First up was Xatu, who's part flying, so we just one-shot it with Ancient Power. Next was Executor, and naturally I was pretty worried about grass moves, but he actually used Psychic. It didn't hit that hard, so we just two-shot him. Slowbro only used Amnesia, so naturally we just took him out in a couple hits of return, and Jinx is pretty frail, so we landed a one-shot. Last was another Xatu, so we just hit Ancient Power once again for the win. Pretty easy first fight. Second is Poison Trainer Koga. Ariados was out first, but Rock is good against Bug, so Ancient Power got us the one-shot. Second was Fortress, who's way too tanky to take down with physical moves. But Surf got the one-shot anyway. Muck had me worried since he uses Minimize, but we didn't miss, so he still went down pretty quickly. Before you ask, yeah, I did lose the first try due to missing him over and over and over. For Crobat, I just went with Surf a couple times and his Toxic failed, so he never hit us. I can't believe we're faster than Crobat, by the way. Last was Venomoth, and Ancient Power got the one shot. Another easy fight, this is going great. Third is Fighting Trainer Bruno. Hitmontop was first, so we just hit him with Return. It crit for a one-shot, that was great. Avoided getting hit by Dig because of that. Hitmonlee has terrible defense, so we just one-shot him with Return, but against Hitmonchan, we took a little bit of damage from a couple of Mach Punches before we could get the knockout. Machamp probably could have knocked us out, but his Cross Chop missed, so we got to land 2 Surfs for the knockout. And last was Onix, who of course just went down in 1 Surf. I can't believe this roll we're on. The crit on Hitmontop and the miss on Cross Chop absolutely saved us on that one. 4th is Dark Trainer Karen. So after 6 failed attempts where we got drowned in Sand Attack and Confuse Ray right away, we had this one where Sand Attack failed, so we got the knockout. Effect moves all have an auto chance of failing when the AI uses them in Gen 2. For Vileplume, we just hit Return, then totally lucked out as Stun Spore missed, so we got another hit for another knockout. That was close. Gengar was actually faster than us, so she used Curse. Our Surf finished her off due to her low health, and we don't take Curse damage on rounds where we land a knockout. Murkrow is super frail, so it just was a one-shot with Return, and last was Houndoom, who goes down to 1 Surf. They didn't even hurt us. I'm so happy with how fast this is going, you have no idea. Finally, Pokemon Champion Lance. Alright, you're not ready for this. So I used Ancient Power right away on Water Onix, and it actually kicked in its side ability for the first time in this entire run, boosting all of our stats by a stage. He crit us, but we just used Recover to heal back up. Then his Flail hardly did anything to us, so we took him down. This is the first try, by the way. After that, we just swept 2 Dragonites with Ancient Power just fine. Charizard was a one-shot with Surf, and then we were on to the last Dragonite. This one didn't get one-shot, but all it did was a weak Outrage, so we finished it off. Last was Aerodactyl, who went down in 1 Surf. I cannot believe how easy that was. With that victory, we get into the Hall of Fame and win the run, but you know it's not over yet. Gen 2 has all of Kanto in post-game, including 8 gym battles and a secret final boss fight with Red. 7 of those 8 gym battles are super easy since they're weaker than the Elite Four, so we're gonna skip ahead and go to the next real challenge, Blue. Of course, on my way I grabbed Leftovers though, since they are an absolute lifesaver in the harder fights. Okay, so the first try at Blue started well when we one-shot Pidgeot, but right after was Executor, who we couldn't two-shot, and who could just one-shot us from full health with Solar Beam. Well, we're so close to a two-shot that I bet I could just come back a few levels higher and it would go fine. 2 levels later, and I still clearly wasn't gonna get the two-shot, but we crit, so it didn't matter. Alakazam is next, and he's faster than us, and took a decent chunk of damage out of us with Psychic, but our critical return took him out. I doubt the crit was required though. Rhydon was obviously a one-shot with Surf, and second from last was Arcanine. Extreme Speed did just about nothing to us, so we just got a knockout with Surf. Last was Water Onix, who we nearly one-shot with Ancient Power, just for us to get nailed with Hydro Pump for less damage than I was expecting. He kept wasting our time with a bunch of full restores, but we could heal more than he could hurt us, so we weren't in any real danger. Good fight! Okay, now just because Blue went down doesn't mean we're ready for Red. He starts with a Pikachu with Thunder, so I could see that being an issue right away, but if we're faster, then I bet we could get a one-shot. I'm actually not too worried about Espeon and Snorlax for once, since I bet I could outlast either of them with Recover, but Venusaur has me worried. If I can't two-shot it, then I think it'll just make me faint from full health. Only one way to find out. Oh yeah, and that story time is coming soon, I swear. It'll be right after the bit where I say subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. Not after this time that I say subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. After the next time that I say it. So, after retrying the fight 5 times because we keep getting hit by Charm right away, it finally failed and we just kept hammering Pikachu with attacks as he kept using full restores. We finally got to finish him off when he hit us with Thunder, but it did tons of damage. Problem is, Espeon right after is also faster than us and easily finishes us off. We're pretty underleveled considering this is a solo run against Red. This is all post-game though, so rare candy cheats are fine. So says you guys in the comments. We'll come back a few levels higher. Okay, level 80. Pikachu is still faster than us, but this time he fails Charm, and we just get the one-shot on him. Espeon is also faster than us and messed us up with Psychic, but we only got taken to red health rather than fainting this time, so we got the knockout. What really sealed our fate though was Venusaur was faster than us, so obviously we lost to Solar Beam. Okay, that would have happened even if we had full health. I need to be at least faster than him to stand a chance. Level 85. Still slower than Pikachu, but all we need is Charm to fail, so we took him out fast. Problem is, Espeon is not only still faster than us, but he also used Reflect this time, so although we took him out just fine, the Venusaur right after took almost no damage from return. At least we're faster than Venusaur now, but that shut us down pretty hard. Let's try a few more times until Espeon doesn't use Reflect. Okay, all new problem. I tried 10 more times and Espeon just used Reflect every single time. Because of that, I started trying to use Return to get it into Red health, so that Red would use his full restores on it, and that it would last long enough for Reflect to wear off. But he just wouldn't use any full restores on it, so I lost every time to Solar Beam. This is honestly really surprising. Maybe if we're faster than Espeon, we can win? Level 90, and this is a weird one. Normally it goes the exact same way, but on this run where we got hit by Charm, Espeon didn't use Reflect. I'm guessing it's because they knew that our attack was already down, but I don't know for sure. Not that it matters, getting hit by Charm is actually worse because it doesn't wear off. We still can't hurt Venusaur enough, and we just go down to Solar Beam. I'm starting to worry about if we'll be too slow even at level 100. Level 95! Yeah, it goes the exact same way. We're still slower than his first two Pokemon, and we still easily lose if we get hit by Charm. I really hate to do this, but I think I'm gonna have to drop Ancient Power for Protect at this point. It feels wrong to do, since we only need it for literally one Pokemon in the entire run, but it's also the last fight of the game, so I guess it's now or never. You can only get that TM in Kanto anyway, so it's not like we could have used Protect in Johto against any Solar Beam users there. After losing the first 7 tries to getting hit by Charm, we have a run where it doesn't get us, and also Espeon didn't use Reflect. I have no idea why. This has to be some kind of cosmic prank. Against Venusaur, we have an easy time since he just tries Solar Beam every turn, so we just block it with Protect every other turn. Kinda wish I had thought of this sooner, but honestly, we're getting beaten so bad by Pikachu and Espeon on dozens of attempts that you didn't see that I don't even feel bad about this. After he went down, it was Snorlax, who I honestly wasn't worried about since we're part Rock type. I was right not to worry since his body slams hardly hurt us. Blastoise was obviously simple to take down with a few hits of Return, and last was Charizard, who went down in one hit of Surf after obviously being faster than us. Well, that was a weird ending. I kinda thought that I'd beat Red at a lower level, but then again, if I just thought of using Protect earlier, then I may have. It's been a little bit hard to focus on this run, to be honest. I'll talk about why in a moment. I have an outro to do first. I really hope you guys like that run. The next Pokemon Challenge will be up next week on Saturday like usual, with Pokemon Platinum, with only one Chansey. Yeah, I'm finally doing another Platinum run again. No, I haven't fixed the auto fire button thing yet, I'm just doing it the hard way. As always, I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments, in the challenge request section of my Discord channel, and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. You see, now that's how you know it's outro time. Alright, so this one's gonna be a little bit heavy maybe, and a little bit out of the blue if you haven't already seen my community post, or if you haven't been keeping up with my Twitter and stuff. But, you know, I like to keep everybody in the loop and everything, so I figured I'll let you know. Tons of people already know from Twitter and everything. At the beginning of the week that I was working on this run, so like the Monday, you know, like when I did the first few gyms of this run, and when I did the voiceover for the Oblivion run with Restoration Magic that you may have watched last week, the day that I did that voiceover and the day that I did the first gyms, that night I ended up collapsing at home, and the paramedics had to be called. You know, we called 911, and I was rushed to hospital in an ambulance, and that was a crazy experience. I had never had a medical emergency in my 29 years of life. Almost 30. My 30th birthday is September 22nd, by the way. Basically what happened was I'd been feeling some kind of off and on tingling in my fingertips, a little bit of numbness, my arms, and different parts of my chest, off and on for about a month by the time that I collapsed. I didn't really think anything of it because I'm used to having all kinds of weird little aches and pains and stuff, just because I didn't used to take care of my body as well as I do, or as well as I have taken care of it in the last few years. So I didn't really think very much of it at the time, of course, until all of a sudden I realized my heart rate for well over an hour was double what it normally rests at when I was sitting down. That was wild. Basically what happened was I was just sitting in my computer chair doing nothing in particular, and I felt this strange tearing feeling in my left side. My lungs had kind of been bothering me for about a month. I had a little bit of coughing, a little bit of wheezing. I just realized while I was saying that Pokemon names, no, genuinely, I was coughing and having like dry wheezing and stuff occasionally. So I thought maybe I got some kind of chest infection, and I do probably have a chest infection, but the day that I'm doing this voiceover right now, it's still like 2 more days until my doctor's appointment because they couldn't get me in that week. So yeah, I felt like a tearing feeling in my side, and I got that, you know that like hot wash you get over your face when you feel like you're either going to pass out or throw up, right? I got that, and beads of sweat just covered my whole face, and I just immediately knew something was really wrong. I didn't know if I was having a heart attack or if something was wrong with my lung, but I just went straight over to Fatima's office, which is right next to mine, and I laid down on the bed in there and let her know, like, hey, you gotta call an ambulance. It was so hard to breathe at first that I thought maybe my left lung collapsed because, you know, I'd been coughing and everything, and it was suddenly so hard to breathe. When the paramedics got there, they were immediately, you know, blood pressure tests and all of that stuff to try and figure out. I think they thought it was probably a heart attack because of all the tingling and everything. Thankfully, they very quickly found that my vitals were okay. I had a crazy high heart rate for laying down, you know? Like, that was wild. Went to the hospital. It was probably 7 or 7:30 at night. I didn't get let out until 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. But by then I was feeling better, but not like 100%, not even close. I still don't feel 100%. They did a ton of tests on me, mostly on my heart. They listened to my breathing a few times. They did blood pressure tests on both of my arms multiple times because they were worried about blockages or blood clots. They said if they do both of my arms, then that should give them an idea of if that's going on. They did multiple blood tests. It was 2 different blood tests, actually. One before they knew I had Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and then another after, presumably to test for something else. I think the doctor said something about people with Ehlers-Danlos are prone to blood clots in different ways. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Right, the blood test, I think it's called ECG. You know the thing where they put the stickers on you and they hook those up to cords, and then they hook that up to a machine and it tells you if your heart's healthy or not or something. I don't know how these machines work, to be honest, but man, taking those stickers off hurt. They did a lot of tests on my heart, and thankfully what the doctor told me is I actually have a very healthy heart, which, hey, that's awesome to hear considering I'd been doing like cardio 3 to 5 times a week for a good couple years now. So I figured I probably had a healthy heart, but you never know when you've got some kind of undiagnosed heart condition. They weren't sure if there was anything wrong with my lungs. I asked the doctor in the hospital, like, hey, should I book an appointment with my family physician? To which I got a resounding yes. So, yeah, that appointment's going to be in a few days. Unfortunately, they couldn't get me in sooner. I did try to go to walk-in clinics the day after this whole thing happened, but I went to literally 4 different walk-in clinics, and 3 of them were closed, and one of them said they don't deal with people who have chest pain because they didn't have a machine to help with that. Which blows my mind, but whatever. I've been mostly okay since then. I have still been working. Obviously, I have to. Bills have to get paid, you know? So I have still been working the whole time. I just take lay-down breaks when I think I need them, and I've been keeping a very close eye on my heart rate to see if it gets worse again. We don't have a diagnosis yet, as I think I've said a few times, so I can't really tell you exactly what's wrong with me. Right now, our theory is literally just my uneducated theory on it, which is I still have the wheezing and I still have a tickle in my throat. I'm just editing that out whenever it happens. It's not constant. It happens more when I'm talking a lot. It's been a hell of a voiceover that I've been trying to do right now, trust me. So there's that. I think I do have some kind of chest infection. I used to get sick a lot as a kid, so it wouldn't surprise me if I have something like that. And also, I think maybe I had my first ever panic attack, which is crazy. It's an awful feeling if that's what that was. Because, like, legit, I thought that maybe I was gonna die. for a little while there. I couldn't move. I couldn't sit up at all. I could barely control my body. I was shaking. I was sweating like crazy. I nearly passed out a couple times too. It was a crazy feeling. So it's possible. I mean, I know that I've been working myself pretty hard for the last 12 years. I mean, some of you have been around for a long time. Some of you know that I was doing daily videos for a decade. I did a video a day minimum for 10 years. The average was actually 1.7 videos a day over that period of time because I did so many videos. It was only in the last year and a half that I stopped doing daily videos and just started, doing the weekly challenges and then whatever extra stuff I can find time for on the side, which unfortunately I don't have much time for, but I still enjoy all of the other non-challenge stuff quite a lot. But yeah, I'm still working. I did have an incident last night, which would be Saturday, let me check the date. That'd be Sunday, Sunday, September 4th, 2022, where I realized my heart rate was getting really high and the tingling was coming back really strong. So I just laid down in bed and did deep breathing exercises because I meditate twice a day. I just went through my meditation routine, and it took a good hour before I could really get up again. I had to take a Benadryl to help with it, but I did end up being okay. Had a rough night, obviously. Slept like a rock after that Benadryl, but I'm feeling like 70% today, which is about how I was feeling the bulk of last week after I had recovered a little bit. So I don't think I have anything really, really serious at the moment, but this is definitely affecting my ability to work. So that's why, by the way, it was only after the normal gym in the script that I said oh, I've got a story for you guys. I hope I have a light work day, because legit, it was I beat the 3 gyms, I got surf, and then I did my voiceover for the day, and then it was later in that day that I collapsed. So when I wrote that whole I got a story for you, that was Tuesday morning when I went right back to working. The people on the community post were super nice, by the way. You guys have been so supportive on the community posts here on YouTube, as well as on Twitter and everything. And oh my god, when you guys heard that this happened to me, you more than doubled the income on my Patreon. I never promote my Patreon. More than half of you who pledged on Patreon pledged after that first post where I didn't even bring up that my Patreon exists. Thank you, genuinely from the bottom of my heart, my apparently very healthy heart. Thank you, because that money is really massive for us right now. I don't know if I can go doing less challenges right now because of that. If it were making more money, then yeah, I could do maybe 3 challenges a month and cut down on my workload a little bit. We're not at that point right now, but no one feel obligated to, please, because there's no rewards on the Patreon. It's basically a monthly reoccurring tip jar for me. And yeah, it's your money is your money. You earned your money. You take care of yourself and your people first and everything before you go throwing anything at me. And the show's always going to be free. I'm not super comfortable taking money, to be honest. I'm sure you can tell if you've been watching me for over a decade that I'm not very comfortable taking money. But yeah, thank you everybody who did that, because that was insane. I've had a lot of really nice comments, a lot of people reaching out and saying real nice stuff, a lot of people I haven't talked to in a long time DMing me and just making sure that I'm all right, looking out for me, keeping up on me, I really appreciate it, because, you get nice comments on a regular basis and everything. And I do get a lot of people who DM me and say really nice stuff, or how I helped them through a hard time when they, when things were going on in their personal life and they had a hard time laughing and I made them laugh, or that things were dark in their life during the pandemic or something, and that watching my show gave them some kind of sense of normalcy, And I get that, because I've had hard times when I just needed to laugh or just needed some normalcy, and I got that kind of joy out of the shows that I really loved watching growing up. I say growing up, I guess through my 20s. Video games Awesome. That I had so many good laughs during so many dark times watching that show back in the day. But Yeah, I don't really have a plan of where I'm going with this outro, to be honest. All I wrote down was talk about the hospital thing. So I've just been off the cuff rambling about the hospital thing. Um, I I guess that's all I really have to say about. I got new glasses after like a decade. Getting used to the new prescription, but they're pretty nice so far. Woo. Um, I've been watching AEW All Out. I'm halfway through the paper right now, and it's so good. I'm on like a media blackout. I'm not even checking Twitter and stuff. I don't want to risk getting spoiled. Just finished the big tag team title match. Man, I was really cheering for Acclaimed, but you know what? It was an awesome match anyway. I've been having a blast watching that with Fatima. So at least I've been having a cool morning and everything. And tomorrow I go in for yet another blood test because they didn't test me for quite everything at the hospital, apparently. My family physician still wants more blood, so I'm going in for another blood test tomorrow, and I hate blood tests, but it's fine. I'm a big boy now. It'll be fine. And then Wednesday's the big day that I will, assuming nothing happens, I'll be going into the clinic, and they'll be, I don't know, I guess listening to my heart or something. We'll see. Oof, my heart rate jumped up to 100 for a second there. I think I'm overexerting myself in this really hot room. I should wrap up this outro and go lay down for a little bit. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.